There's a lot going on. Yes, it is time for lunch therapy. I need some therapy. I don't know about you guys, but let's go for it. Hey everybody, it's time for Lunch Therapy. Lunch Therapy is a show where we take a break from all the craziness that's going on. We try and give our mind a little break from the onslaught of horrendous things that are going on. So here we are. We're in this place. We're calling it the Cult of the Hummingbird. Hashtag Cult of the Hummingbird. And the first thing that we do is we're going to take 3 deep breaths. And so join me now, taking 3 deep breaths. And the first one begins now. I'm holding it. Letting it out. It's important when you take in that breath, take it in all the way into your lungs, the back of your lungs. Try and envision breathing into your feet. Okay? Here we go. We're holding it. Letting it go. One more. Hold it. I'm holding it. I'm still holding it. Let it go. What craziness. It's a good point, Jay. It's a good point. Holy Todd. I've got an interesting thing for you, Todd, today. It shall be coming up shortly. But first, I wanted to address the title of the show today is What is a Mantra? So I wanted to address that. Somebody clicks on the show is like, what is a mantra? Joel, tell me. Well, Joel, I'm going to tell you. A mantra is this. It is a word or a sound repeated to aid concentration in meditation. To aid concentration in meditation. So the reason I'm thinking about mantras today is last week we had that interview with Ray De Laurentiis, who kind of blew my mind a little bit. There's my mind being blown in the form of a hummingbird. Yeah, he kind of blew my mind a little bit. One of the things that he said is have intensity, but don't turn that intensity on yourself because it'll burn you out. Which is a very good point. But the other thing that he mentioned was that he does transcendental meditation, which I've always heard people say, oh, I do TM, you do TM. And usually they're kind of hipster people like, I don't know, David Lynch. David Lynch is a big TM guy. Maybe too cool for me. I don't know. But I didn't quite know because you had to go take a class or something like that. But he said this one thing. He said what they do is they give you a nonsense word or a word that means nothing to you. Not necessarily a nonsense word, but a word that means nothing to you. So you can focus on it and just say it in your mind. And then what happens is your mind stops thinking, which seems like a bad thing, but it's actually a good thing because a lot of times your mind is like giving you a really hard time while you're trying to just be. And you don't have any fun that way. There's no fun. So I started doing it. So hum, yeah, so hum. Ganell says it. So hum. That's an example of a Sanskrit phrase that you say over and over again. So hum, so hum. And I was trying to think of one, and every time I thought of something, I was like, that sounds like something. So hummingbird, so hummingbird. And so maybe I'd see, a hell of a lot of hummingbirds while I was meditating, and maybe that would kind of ruin the effect. So I was doing the TM. I mean, I guess I'll call it just meditation with a mantra. And I was doing it, and I suddenly had this image. I think I should probably draw it. But it was like a big root with all these tendrils coming out. And it was kind of attacking me. Maybe it looked like roots, and roots look like synapses, in your brain. And so that was attacking the kind of core that is me, which was like, I was envisioning like a pearl, like a beautiful pearl. I'm sure that's how you envision me and I envision you, is a beautiful pearl. Certainly, Jay Gaffney. Certainly, I envision Jay Gaffney as a pearl. One of our favorite people on the show, Jay. So that root comes in and ruins the pearl. And so for a second, you could just remove that and just be the pearl. I think that's the goal. And then I think also one of the things that I've noticed is all the great ideas that you have during the day. I do. I don't know about you guys, but when I have a good idea, it's usually not because I thought of it. It's because it just showed up. So I'm going to try this mantra thing. Going to do some mantra meditation, some TM. It's kind of a macho thing to do. It's not macho. So yesterday we did a thing. We showed a video. And Jay Gaffney was on me. He was on me because I didn't know the difference between a raven and a crow. So guys, I did my research. If we showed a video, the video was of this crow. One of our viewers, Gordy Wall, sent in this video of the crow. It might have been Ethan Wall, his son. I'm not sure, but and I said it was a crow. I'm not sure whether I said it was a crow and then Jay said it was a raven. That's cool. But I did some research. Okay, what's the difference between crows and ravens? They are not that different, but it turns out a raven is bigger. A raven has a kind of a hooked beak, larger beak. That's cool. Crows rock when they caw. There's a guy who said, crows rock when they caw, and ravens just rock. So that's how you remember it. Ravens just rock. That's cool. And then it turns out that crows play music, and ravens play football. Cool. Thank you, Mulva, for that joke. She's one of our viewers. Came up with a joke the other day about ravens playing football. And I capitalized on that because I am a comedian that steals jokes from my friends. A horrible thing to do. So another thing that I'm going to do for you all, because we have been looking at animals lately, and animals are great. Quickly, I'm going to show you a monkey sleeping with a cat. I got in trouble for the hummingbirds. Hopefully no one will mind. I'm going to quickly show you a monkey sleeping with a cat. I mean, come on. This is from something called Monkey Daily on the old YouTube. Jay, you might have been wrong. But sometimes we're wrong. I am often wrong. And when I feel bad about it, I just go and I look at a monkey sleeping with a kitten. And it just makes everything better. So there you go. There's that. I'm feeling better already from watching that monkey sleeping with a kitten. Kamala wants one like that too. She has a lot of animals though. On my shirt right now, there is a video of the sad, lonely hummingbird feeder in our backyard. No hummingbirds, no feeding happening. I don't know why. I think it's because it's not red. And we're gonna do something about it. We're gonna paint the mother red. But we got a bird feeder. And something horrible happened Here's a clip. Kamala took this clip today. It's just, I don't know what to say, man. We were warned of this the other day because there's a video that the bat was showing us of squirrels tearing down bird feeders, and it's just a horrible, horrible thing. So this squirrel, we put up a bird feeder just to feed the birds, you know? What can you do? You want to feed birds, and these squirrels just went up there and they just tore the sucker down, and they've done it over and over and over again, and I don't know what to do. This is supposedly a squirrel-proof bird feeder, but as you can see, not good. Not good. Anybody else have problems with squirrels and bird feeders? Let me know. We've got that elaborate video that we saw the other day on that. Okay, now we're getting to the point of the show where we're going to talk about something that is a recurring theme on the show. And the other day, yesterday, I was texting, and somebody, said the catchphrase, the lunch therapy catchphrase, "Got any grapes?" And I was like, ha ha ha, like we do with catchphrases, ha ha. And then there was a picture of Ganell with grapes, and he had grapes, right? And so I said, wow, maybe I'll send a funny GIF, the "Got any grapes" GIF. You know how you can search on your phone and you can be like, send a funny GIF. And I wonder if there's a GIF for "Got any grapes." So I searched for one, and this cartoon came up, and it said, "Got any grapes? Bump, bump, bump." So if you don't know this, the joke is, Duck walks into a bar and says to the bartender, "You got any grapes?" And the bartender says, "No, we don't have any grapes. We don't serve ducks in here. Get out." Next day, Duck shows up at the bar again and says, "Got any grapes?" Bartender's like, "What? I thought I told you yesterday we don't have any grapes. This is a bar. And we don't serve ducks in here. Get out." Next day, Duck walks into the bar, says, "Got any grapes?" Bartender is livid. He's like, "No, we don't have any grapes. We don't sell grapes here. But if you come in here one more time, I am going to nail your bill to the bar." Duck walks out. Next day, the duck walks in, says to the bartender, "You got any nails?" Bartender says, "No, this is not a hardware store." Duck says, "You got any grapes?" So there we go. There's the joke. It's getting a little better. But then I found this.
Tell me the duck story.
I don't know if you're aware of this.
Bum, 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 ba-dum, ba-dum. A duck walked up to a lemonade stand, and he said to the man running the stand, "Hey, bum, 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 got any grapes?"
It's a lemonade stand in this.
The man said, "No, we just sell lemonade, but it's cold and it's fresh and it's all homemade. Can I get you a glass?" The duck said, "I'll pass."
And the duck disses the bartender in this one.
Next day, bum, 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 ba-dum. When the duck walked up to the lemonade stand, and he said to the man running the stand, "Hey, bum, 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 got any grapes?"
You got any grapes?
The man said, "No, like I said yesterday.
He's getting
We
mad.
just sell lemonade, okay?
We just
Why
do
not give it a
lemonade."
try?" The
But
duck said,
he tries to give it to
"Goodbye."
him. See ya. I don't even know what happens here. I don't even know, because I got so livid watching this that I couldn't even complete the story. So
Till the very next day, bum, 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 bum,
let's see what
bum, bum.
happens.
When the duck walked up to the lemonade stand, and he said to the man running the stand, "Hey, bum, 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 got any grapes?"
Got any grapes?
The man said, "Look, this is getting old. I mean, lemonade's all we've ever sold. Why not give it a go?"
Why not
The
give
duck
it a
said,
go?
"How about no?"
How about no?
Then he waddled away.
Okay, this is getting tedious
Then he
now.
waddled away, waddle, waddle, waddle. Then he waddled
What
away,
happens
waddle,
next?
waddle,
What's gonna
till
happen?
the very next day.
All right,
Bum,
well, I'll give it
bum,
one more
bum,
day.
bum, bum, bum.
One more day.
When the duck walked up to the lemonade stand, and he said to the man running the stand, Hey, bum, 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 got any grapes? The man said, that's it. If you don't stay away, duck, I'll glue you to a tree and leave you there all day.
Glue you to a tree.
So don't get too close.
Okay.
The duck said,
We know where this is
adios. Then he waddled away, waddle, waddle.
I know where this is
Then he
going.
waddled away, waddle, waddle, waddle. Then he waddled away, waddle, waddle. Till the very next day, bum, 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 ba-dum. When the duck walked up to the lemonade stand, and he said to the man running the stand, hey, bum, 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 got any glue?
There's
What?
a nuclear shot.
Got any glue? No, why would I? Oh, then one more question for you. Got any grapes?
All right.
Bum, 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 bum.
I don't know. I like it. I think I like the nuances of it. I'm not sure which came first, the joke or the song. One of the things about that is that it's got like, I don't know. You know what? Just 1 second. Let's go back for a
Tell me
second.
the duck story.
Yeah.
Bum, bum, bum,
400
bum, ba-dum. A duck walked
431
up to a
million
lemonade stand,
views.
and said to the man running the stand, hey, bum.
Yeah. That video has 431 million views. So, I guess they told the joke right, I guess. Why don't you play the old lady that swallowed a fly next? That probably has 600 million views. The old lady that swallowed a fly, Jay. Yeah, this is the kind of show this is, and sometimes I wonder, sometimes I think, what kind of show is this? What are we doing here? I'll tell you what we're doing here. And I think, well, what are the influences that I have for shows? We talked about JP Patches. JP Patches is a fantastic show in Seattle where there was a clown who lived in a junkyard. He was mayor of the city dump, this guy. He wore a clown suit. He was a clown. They were doing the show one day, and it's just the clown. He's out there being a clown like I'm being a clown. And one day he said, I want a tuna fish sandwich. And somebody offset said, somebody like Boney, my offset guy, said, I'll get you a sandwich. And he's like, thank you, Gertrude. And then this hand came in with the sandwich. And then the next day they were like, bump, bump, bump. You got any grapes? And they said, hey, Gertrude, why don't you come on the show? And so the guy who's off stage just like grabbed a mop, put it on his head, walked out, and he became Gertrude. And then Gertrude became a, Seattle phenomenon or a Northwest phenomenon. Gertrude and JP Patches, they have a statue to them today. Many of you in Seattle know this story. And, of course, so many of us grew up with that show. But I was thinking about another show that Jay Gaffney is really going to enjoy because he liked the duck song so much. And that show was called Kukla, Fran and Ollie. I don't know if you guys know this show. Tell me in the chat room if this is something you're familiar with. It was kind of before my time, Kukla, Fran and Ollie. And it was kind of just in the back of my head, like, what was that? What was the Kukla, Fran and Ollie? And it turns out it was a show from 1947 to 1957. Wait a minute. I got to stop this for a second. Todd Lee lived in Gertrude's childhood home. Is that possible? Gertrude is the one with the mop on her head. I don't know. That's really hard for me to handle. It's like the other day I was on a podcast and I was teaching acting to these Australians, and one of the Australians said he grew up in Lee Strasberg's house and he knew Lee Strasberg. And now Todd Lee tells me he lived in Gertrude's childhood home. I don't know. It's rough. I met him a few times. He's a nice guy. Wow. We got a deep bench in this place. Puppet and violence, my favorite. Yeah. So thanks for bringing back to the topic, which is Kukla, Fran and Ollie. Oh, Kamala wants to say, I did get in contact with Gertrude's people because we want Gertrude on the show, right? And Gertrude is in an old age home now I want to send her something and tell her how much we were still talking about her. Yes, it's a him. It's hard to say, but it's a guy. Mercer Island, that's where his childhood home was. Okay. That's cool. So now on to the puppetry violence, as Jay says. No, these guys, I don't think they were violent, Kukla, Fran, and Ollie. Maybe I'm wrong. But here's a clip from the show, in case you've never seen it before.
We'll do this for our wonderful friends all over the country that we met. Okay.
This is them singing their theme song.
Here we are, back with you again. Yes, by gum.
And yes, by golly.
Kukla Fran.
And dear old Ollie.
Here we are again. Here we are.
Jay, I'm not going to play this for too long because I know that you're going to get upset because it brings back your childhood memories. He's thinking of Punch and Judy. That is such a good point, Mary. Thanks for clearing that up. So there was Punch and Judy, which I think might have been a precursor, I don't know, to Kukla, Fran and Ollie. Oh, I love this. I got somebody from Twitch. Ghost of Shadow Rat says, Ollie is out of my nightmares. Now, Ghost of Shadow Rat, Ollie is the clown. Oh, maybe clowns scare you. That's kind of a thing these days where clowns are scary and they've ruined the whole clown thing. For me, clowns are not scary. And yes, Jay was thinking of Punch and Judy. Somebody's got to clear that up. It's like the difference between a raven and a crow. Difference between Kukla, Fran and Ollie and Punch and Judy. The great thing about Kukla, Fran and Ollie, first of all, the puppets are one guy. Yeah, you'd think it'd be like two guys, or a man and a woman or something, but it's just one guy. His name is
Do you
Burr
like that one?
Tillstrom.
Well, that'd be fine. Yes, you can list all the things.
And this is
ice
him.
cream,
This is the only time I've ever
chocolate,
seen him.
Strawberry.
He plays an ice cream
he's a
man
wonderful
on the
boy,
show.
Yes.
There he is.
Comes in, yes, he's right on the dot. Mm-hmm.
See, there he is. That's what he looks
sure.
like.
Well, he takes his work.
That guy plays all the puppets
Yeah.
on the show. There's more than...
Well, it just when
He's just
business
making,
is a little.
he's making ice cream. I don't know.
Mhm.
That's him.
Oh.
Anyway, Burr Tillstrom was all the puppets. And he basically, all they had in the show was the little puppetry place. And then Fran, who was an actress, would stand out in front. And then they would come up with a premise for the show. And then they just improvise it. And they did this for 10 years. 10 years. So here is another clip of a rabbit playing a piano. Also Burr Tillstrom. First of all, they're fixing the piano, and then the rabbit comes on.
One need not necessarily make a profession of that talent, although in some cases it is very lucrative. However, it is always nice to have this talent, even if one has the talent only for one's own enjoyment. For instance, playing the piano. That is a very fine talent to have. Our friend Jack Fascinato does a very nice job of using his talent and using it lucrative.
I mean, doesn't it seem a little like lunch therapy?
I
in a way?
myself have had many hobbies, as you know.
He's talking about playing the piano. It's a weird
The least
rabbit.
of which has not been guppies.
Fran and Ollie were masters. Thank you, Ginny
And,
Sykes. They were
only recently I have
improv
taken up
masters.
the piano.
Anyway, he starts playing the piano. He comes out with these weird, it's weird. He comes out with these,
Wonderful invention which was set.
he has these like things on his ear that like keep his ears up. I don't know why.
I have found
There he
it
is.
very difficult to play the piano and sing for you with my ears in their normal condition, so I am now using
I guess the
wonderful
ears like get in the
invention
way
which was set to me. And now I'd like to
when
sing
he
and
plays the piano.
I'd like to sing and play for you a little number.
I know Jay is loving this. Really like that rabbit's attitude.
It has a fiddle and ready for love. I could jump over the moon up above. It has a
Yeah.
fiddle and ready
All right.
for love.
So I don't know. This went on for a long, long time. Like 10 years they did this show, and it was super popular among adults and kids. There they are. So Kukla is that guy. I don't know what he is, but he was, very, very, very popular puppet. And some of the people that watched the show were John Steinbeck, wrote The Grapes of Wrath, many other things, of course. Tallulah Bankhead. Tallulah Bankhead actually, when she missed a show, she would have someone transcribe it for her. Famous actress, Tallulah Bankhead. James Thurber, humorist, and Orson Welles. They all were like huge fans of this show, which I can see why. One more thing I'm going to show you is Kukla. They would get all these letters from people, and Kukla, in this particular clip, is reading one of the letters from somebody.
Well, I received a lovely poem in the mail today, and I think I will read it. It's from James Hahn in Freeport, Long Island, New York. And I am going to read it, and because I'm going to read it on the air, I'm sending an autographed photograph to James Hahn. It's called Kukla Fran and Ollie. Kukla, oh, he's really cute. And, oh, that Fran, she's really a beaut. And Ollie, oh, he's really jolly. What was that last line? Oh, I guess I won't
He's a
read it.
dragon. It's weird because Ollie's last name is Dragon.
Face of a collie.
That's the weird thing. You can hear the crew laughing.
Oh. Come on, Lassie. Read another one. Oh. I don't want a choo-choo train, a pair of skates or sled.
Yeah,
I
one,
just
two.
want a ticket to get
That's all
to
you need.
Chicago instead. I don't want any fairy tales or even a book that's been banned. I just want to get to Chicago to see Fashionado Kukla and Fran. I don't want a wristwatch. I don't even want a dolly. Oh, here it comes. I just want to go to Chicago to meet that dragon named Ollie from Pat Fischel.
Thank you, Jenny Sykes. Yes, he was a dragon. I don't know what the significance of Ollie's last name and then this guy being a dragon and why he has one tooth. I think that's probably part of the. I don't think your brain can. I don't think your brain can come up with Kukla, Fran, and Ollie, right? I mean, if you're trying to be logical about things, why would you come up with that? Why would that? But for some reason, it really strikes. I know that Jay loves the show. And I know for a lot of other people, they love the show. And even today, when I watch it, I'm like, that's a pretty awesome show. But, nobody's frontal lobe is going to come up with that. I don't know how they developed that show, the puppeteer. Who knows? I think, though, he removed the roots from the pearl. That's what I think. And came up with something that pretty awesome. And stays with you. So next, okay, it's the end of the show. Thank you. Thank you for coming here. Thank you for being here for Lunch Therapy. I hope that you enjoyed your time here looking at Kukla, Fran, and Ollie. There was a lot of other stuff that I wanted to show you, but I got really stuck on the duck thing. The Got Any Grapes. Ollie was a dragon. Oh, I wanted to just tell you one other anecdote. So Kukla is the dragon, right? With the one tooth. I'm going to go with that. Ollie is the clown. So one day they were at the actors. There was a club where actors hang out in New York, or there used to be. I don't know. I think it's probably still there. Yeah, there's a club where actors hang out called the Actors Club. And one night they were all there, and this Hugh Downs tells the story because he was the announcer on Kukla, Fran, and Ollie. Hugh Downs is there, and Burr Tillstrom is there, who's the puppeteer, and they're all hammered. They're hammered. And so Burr Tillstrom, in his Burr Tillstrom way, he decides to do a puppet show because that's what he does. So he pulls out the little puppet theater. I don't know. He's got it in his back pocket. Boom. Pulls that out. All of a sudden, there's Kukla and Ollie just doing their thing, right? You know, he's doing the whole thing, and everybody's just laughing, having a great old time, and he's drunk as hell. And so Ollie is just wasted. But one of the things that Hugh Downs said is this guy can so separate these characters because he's used to playing multiple characters that Kukla was not drunk at all. And he said Kukla doesn't drink. It's a pretty neat little anecdote. It's better than Got Any Grapes, I think. It's a neat story. Hugh Downs, I don't know, still alive. He's like 99 years old, the guy, the announcer of that show. Anyway, we're going to leave on something that is going to... Oh, wait, Ollie isn't the clown. Are you serious? Ollie isn't the clown, it's Kukla? See, that's the thing, Jay. I get things wrong, too. I get the crows and the ravens mixed up. I get the Ollie and the Kukla mixed up. Thanks for clarifying that, Jenny. And that is weird. So Kukla, but I think it was Kukla that doesn't drink. I don't know. I screwed up that story, didn't I? We'll get to the bottom of that. We'll figure it out. We got time. Now, I'd like to play a dance break for you that is something you have possibly never seen before, but it is a huge, huge thing in Japan. So here we go. Thanks for being here on Lunch Therapy. I will see you tomorrow.